H-64 Apaches practice shooting down drones with Hellfire missiles in Saudi Arabia. So this was,
You
I
guys see
had,
that?
no, man, I had no idea this was going on
Yeah,
until
I didn't either.
Casmo. But yeah, you sent this article to Movery, sent it to me. And,
Yeah, I was surprised to hear about it as well. Yeah, I read through it. It apparently, because it's not. I mean, look, a Hellfire is just a laser guided missile, unless you use the Lima model, which is a millimeter wave radar, which I think is the one that they talk about using in this article. I think theoretically, the challenge is it's not meant to do lots of like maneuvering. I would love to see like a sidewinder or something and see how much of a control surface it has, because the control surfaces on a Hellfire are not that, they're not that big, because it's not really designed to go after something. You're not going to be shooting down jets and stuff, but here you got a moving aircraft.
Wow.
If you pick it up with the longbow radar and then pass that information to the missile, I guess they've tweaked the software so that it can pick up the the target and go after it. But it's not it's not maneuvering, right? It's not like jinking around and trying to avoid the missile. But no, it's cool. And then the article talks about using APKWS, which is a laser guided rocket. Basically just a normal rocket that they put a laser guided warhead on a laser guided tracker on the front. The challenge there is now you do have to keep a laser spot on the target. I'm not sure you'd be really good at doing that hand jamming it.
Does the Apache have like we had like scene track, pointed mode, like there's different modes. I mean, will it capture an image and hold it?
Yeah, it'll capture. It's probably, I imagine that's a lot like probably what you're used to as well, that it's contrast based for the most part. So if something breaks that contrast, sometimes those things just go stupid and it starts looking at the wrong thing, or it doesn't really pick up things. It's not like it knows it's looking at a UAV. It just knows that it's looking at contrast, and then it just locks on to that contrast.
That was I didn't see any dimensions, but that was a larger drone, I would say, right? Compared to
that looked like a shadow size or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that thing had wings.
And that's why, to me, I see this and I'm not super impressed, because I think the drone's problem is just going to get because of the size. I mean, they're just getting so small, and you watch all these Ukraine videos where they just put a little bomb on it and they just drive into somebody's hangar and blow up their tank or something. You're not going to engage that with this. So, I'm not saying you should crap on it and say, oh, this is just terrible, but I don't know that this is a huge game changer to me. But
they were out in the Gulf using Hornets, right, to shoot down Houthi drones,
right?
Using Apaches, and kind of like you said, with advancement of drone warfare, it's all new. And I saw just last week or last couple days there was some article talking about maybe throwing nets over Raptors, because there's been a lot more drone activity around military bases, and how do you stop that? We've done several shows on drones, and I mean, really, dude, in the Army, on an Army base, who would be in charge of drone security, if that's the thing? Like who I mean, right.
And that's been my fundamental thing when it comes to drones, and I've talked about this on other shows as well. It's like the thing that scares me is and the scenario happened, I think it was in Jordan, at that security point, that tower, where a very small drone came in and it exploded and it killed, I think, 3 U.S. soldiers who were just on guard. And that's the thing that scares me, because the average Joe, and I include myself in that, I don't know what a friendly UAV is versus an enemy UAV. Hell, half the stuff is bought off the counter and they just strap something to it. And now you take Private Schmedlap, he's not going to just be like, well, I'm going to shoot that thing, because he's going to be terrible. I mean, look how much crap we go through when somebody loses an iPad, you know, and you're going to tell me you just shot down a drone and it turns out it was Bravo Company's drone that they got lost or something, and you shot down a $200,000. Yeah, it's not going to happen. And so that's where that security thing is a real issue to me, and a thing that I'm concerned about. Who has ships, at least you can kind of set up that exclusion. There's no reason for anything to be near a ship, no reason whatsoever. But when you've got a base and you're in your land and you're surrounded by stuff, what's to prevent you from having that happen?
Or even here stateside, right? I mean, if you're
absolutely,
and there's drones flying around, I mean, they're not supposed to, but I mean, who's to say it's not some kid losing control of his drone or somebody trying to do something?
Well, when I worked, I was an interagency guy when I was a junior major, and I worked at the FAA headquarters in DC. And I was there when that dude flew his little gyrocopter and landed on the White House lawn. This was like
I
2013,
remember that.
something like that, 14, I think. Dude just flew straight into DC, landed on the White House lawn or outside the Congress, and nobody like knew, even though his friends called ahead, nobody was able to like do anything. Everyone was surprised by it and all this stuff. And so, yeah, and if that can happen, well, what's to prevent somebody from having a swarm of drones park itself on the approach end of runway 22 at whatever airport,
Right.
you know, or just like you said, go into a base and just start wrecking havoc. So this is the things that bothers me about drone. It's not about a drone going over the front lines and Apache can shoot it down. That's not how I'd waste my drone.
Well, is it security forces that's supposed to, protect the bases, or is it, the actual Air Force? And, you're talking about using Apache is a pretty expensive piece of equipment to be knocking down drones.
And clearly this is meant for that sort of near peer or peer on peer threat where it is a concern, but I just don't think that it's a small measure, and it's good. I'm glad that we have it. It's not going to solve the problem.
Have you shot Hellfire?
Yeah.
Yeah. At anything aerial?
No. just dudes.
just dudes.
just dudes.
just dudes.
Just dudes, and one time at a tank on a range. That's about it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, dude, we'll see where the whole drone technology goes, but I guess in the meantime, we're just gonna knock them down with whatever we have available, man.
I mean, I'm surprised that they don't and maybe they will eventually, but like I'll go back in time. In 2006, my first deployment in Iraq, and again, drones were not really a thing back then. They were kind of like, we had them, but they were always big and stuff. Yeah. But I remember that there was this mystery drone that people were seeing, and basically we got told later that this was Iranian, that this was an Iranian drone flying around. Again, this is 2006. And we were told, hey, have you ever, and when I was flying Kai was at the time, if you ever come across this thing, shoot it down. And we're like, okay, cool. Like, we don't have the weapons for that, but absolutely. So, of course, a bunch of Kaiwa pilots were all theorizing, like, well, how would you do it? And I was like, wow, like a flechette rocket would be great, because we had some of those. But, I can see them like maybe modifying Hellfires to have that sort of flechette, capability. And, I don't know.
You flew the doors off, right? And you had a sidearm. That's all you need.
Yeah. I flew on the wing of a Predator one time. He had no idea I was there.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he was doing an approach into Kandahar, and I was doing an instrument approach for practice behind him. And he ended up doing a go around and had to do like basically a traffic pattern. And we did a go around and we pulled up right next to him. I don't know why we didn't take pictures, but
that's awesome. Yeah. Well, there you go, dude. You can at least
how you do it.
You can at least intercept them.
That's right. Yeah. As long as they're going slow.
Yeah. Well, all right, cool.